If only Fifth Harmony knew that this song, "You Don't Gotta Go to Work," was going to be used as the anthem for work from home. You know what I mean? They did not know. Hey, you're watching Breakfast Television. Good morning. It's 7:24. Tammie Sutherland and Tracy Moore with us here today. This is it's a big conversation because look, our cities are changing.
Yeah.
Our downtown cores are changing because our patterns are changing ever since the pandemic. That word that we're talking about, but it's true. It's true. Since the pandemic, Toronto's downtown core has taken a hit. Like so many, local shops are struggling. The office spaces are sitting empty.
Yeah.
And our Mayor Chow, wants to do something about it. So she's been meeting with CEOs of the banks in a bid to revitalize the financial district, because if we take a look at these stats, the banks occupy 7 million square feet of office space in the downtown core out of a total 34 million. So, I mean,
That's a lot.
That's a lot of millions.
Yep.
That's a lot of square feet, and the money of those square feet are staying empty at this point.
Yeah.
So the idea is to get people back going to the office in that sort of 4-day-a-week idea. The only counter to that, coming from our mayor, is that City of Toronto employees are required to work a minimum of 2 to 3 days a week in the office. So there's a little bit of like, we're going to do it this way, but you need to go in.
Yeah.
So how do we feel about all that, Tammie?
Well, so this is a Toronto Star article, and they spoke to some bank CEOs and got statements from a couple of the banks, the big banks, who said they would love to, expand the working in the office situation here in Toronto. However, they want the city to take the lead and follow by example, like actually show that. Right now, their hybrid work situation, according to their website, it shows that you just have to be at work 2 to 3 days, depending on, what you do. But if you can work from home, you do it 2 to 3 days a week. And that being said, City Hall and city employees take up not 7 million square feet of space, for sure.
Yeah.
Right.
So I understand that places like the Path have been suffering dramatically, like any business in the Path. Oh my goodness, just devastation from the pandemic. And I know it's slowly creeping back. When you go in the financial district now, you see that there is a lot more traffic than there was before.
Yeah.
But it's just not at that peak where it was, 5 days a week of having a rush.
Major foot traffic.
Yeah.
And those are major rents. You know what I mean? And unless
Major
those
rents.
rents have come down to reflect the lack of foot traffic walking by, I don't know how you make a viable business work.
I feel like we're looking at this backward. So if you go back to the pandemic, when people were working from home, productivity was at an all-time high. So if productivity is what we're concerned about, people should, and I'm someone who likes coming into work. My job is fun, and I'm 10 minutes away. So I don't have a problem coming here 5 days a week. I don't think everyone should have to do that. I think if you can do your job efficiently and effectively at home, you should be able to do that. And I feel like we're making excuses now to get people, to get the economy to where it's supposed to be, even though things have changed. And so if people are being productive at home, this is becoming a control issue more than anything else. They're doing good work from home. And I know businesses are suffering, but now these businesses are going to have to figure out a new way to move forward, because times have changed, as you said.
Yeah, no, there
We've
definitely
learned
has
a
been a
few
before
things.
and after. Yeah.
We've learned a few things. So
But the
I don't
vibrancy
know,
of the
this whole
downtown
going
core,
back-
it's key. And then
sad.
if it's not full, that's when some other things can move in a sort of unsafe way or sort of a more dangerous way. We've seen it happen with other cities.
sure.
For me, though, to your point, Trace, I feel like if that is going to be the requirement, then you've got to make the transportation to get into the city possible.
you.
I mean, have you been on the Gardner? We just had a looming potential TTC strike that was averted, but if you can't get people to the office, I don't think you can make them go in. I think that's just, if you talk about peeling
agree.
it back, I think that's where we got to start. It's got to be viable. It's got to be less expensive. It's got to be
easy.
possible.
And if you're talking about productivity, there is no productivity sitting on the Gardner for an hour and a half trying to get in, and then another hour and a half trying to get out. You are losing the passion of that employee who had the ability to stay home and just be able to work throughout their shift, and did it with like some relief and peace in their heart, not being in traffic.
Work-life balance should be a thing. And I think corporations should all get behind that. Like, the happier you are in your life, a better worker you will be.
Yeah.
So, that needs to make sense for people's personal lives.
For sure, 100%. Don't worry, we're still here. 5 days a week
I don't mind being
for
here.
you
5 days a
on
week.
breakfast television.
I've got no problem
we're
with
okay with it. We're okay with it. Coming up later here on VT 729 right now, we'll tell you about a home and garden tour that lets you in to some of the most beautiful homes in Scarborough. Let's